Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another before and after. So today we are going to be looking at The Mummy. Now, you might be wondering, why? Why would I want to look at this? I mean, the movie doesn't look that good, really, especially not off the first trailer that dropped. And I will have to say to that, you're right. But, it's Universal Monsters, come on. I freaking love the Universal Monsters. They are classics, and actually they are pretty interesting stories. Sure, they were made in the 30s, but they still hold up really well. Okay, some of them weren't made in the 30s. Like, they went into the 50s, I think. But, yeah, even though they got kind of corny at times, I still do really enjoy them, and they still hold up pretty damn well. And no, I don't have my cuss jar, so... sorry. So... yeah, I'm actually looking kind of forward to this movie, especially with the Dark Universe trailer. Why? Because that was awesome. Now, I could just spend this whole entire video just talking about the classic Universal Monsters, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. We are here to talk about the Dark Universe, to be technical. Yeah, I don't know why they're calling it that. They should just call it the Universal Monsters, but no, clearly we need it to be called the Dark Universe. Yeah, that's kind of a dumb title to me. I don't really get why they needed that. Just call it the Universal Monsters. Does everything nowadays have to be a universe in some way? And for all of you saying, oh, look at that, Universal's doing what Marvel did. Screw you. Universal did this first. Yeah, Marvel might have popularized the thing, but Universal did this first, and I will always associate them with this. So, yeah, I'm actually kind of looking forward to this movie. Although, yeah, some of the choices with this is kind of bad to me. Like, the trailer makes it look much more action than horror. Don't know why they changed the gender of the mummy. Was that really needed for any reason? Was anyone going around saying, you know what the mummy should be? A girl. I don't know why I want this, I just really do. I mean, like, why? What's the point of that? I mean, they're gonna do Bride of Frankenstein next year, so, or like in a year or two. So what's the point of making this one a girl? Why change the gender if you're already gonna have a female monster in the next movie in your franchise? Oh, and speaking of that, why are they doing Bride of Frankenstein before Frankenstein? Yeah, okay, so I have a lot of critiques on this stuff, like Johnny Depp playing the Invisible Man. That is asinine to me. I'm sorry. Get anyone else. Johnny Depp is not qualified for this role. I'm sorry. The Invisible Man is a man who is driven to madness because of his own serum. That is not a role for Johnny Depp. Sure, there is a chance that he could pull it off pretty well, but I'm not really that confident about that. I mean, Johnny Depp isn't really the best actor. I mean, he's pretty good, but yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like he can fill the shoes of anyone else who has played the Invisible Man. Heck, even the 2000 series might have done better than Johnny Depp. But I'm critiquing something that has nothing to do with this. Back on to the Mummy. So, yeah, I really don't like the casting choice of Johnny Depp. I mean, sure, there is a chance that I'll be good in this, but I doubt it. So, yeah. Back on to what I'm supposed to be talking about. The Mummy looks alright. So, yeah, my biggest complaint is probably that, well, it's more action-oriented looking than actually horror. And, yeah, that is something that's pretty prominent nowadays with horror movies. A lot of them just try and step out of their genre for no reason. Or they just suck. I'm really hoping that this one actually is scary and, doesn't suck. Because, yeah, I don't have the highest hopes from it from this trailer. It's not really the best. I mean, like, there are some some kind of nice moments in there, like when they're intercutting from actually getting the sarcophagus out of the tomb and just them on a plane. I don't know if that's supposed to be comedic or something, but that was kind of neat. I don't really know why they needed to do that, but at least add something different to the trailer. But yeah, Tom Cruise. He does not feel fitting for the role in The Mummy. I mean, yeah, okay, Ben Fraser, he is much worse for a role in The Mummy, but Tom Cruise he's more of an action actor. The Mummy is supposed to be eerie and creepy. Now, sure, they could go the 1999 route and try and make it more fun, but to me, that kind of ruins what makes The Mummy actually pretty endearing. He was actually creepy. And no, you don't see him in gauze the whole time. Actually, you only see him in gauze in the opening scene. Something that I find kind of interesting is everyone just likes popularizing the gauze thing with him when he only wore it once in the movie. Now it's just because he woke up with it. So yeah, I don't know why I don't know why in this movie the Mummy's wearing it for most of it, but I guess they're playing off the popular thing. Also, Dr. Jekyll. Yeah, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is gonna be in this. Kind of a weird combination there. I mean, they don't even list Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in their Dark Universe trailer as one of the Universal monsters. I mean, I would technically consider it as one, but yeah, they don't. So that's kind of a weird choice there. Although, I gotta say, this is probably the casting that I'm the most okay with. I mean, say what you want about Russell Crowe, but I do actually think that he can pull off the role of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And from what I'm seeing in this trailer, he seems to be the best one in it. So, yeah. At least that looks good, and I'm always a sucker for a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde story. I watched a marathon of it one night, so yeah, I am pretty excited to see how they actually do this. And he seems to be more than Nick Fury in this, like in the Avengers and everything. I don't know why that is. Like, did Dr. Jekyll one day just decide, I know that I have an evil split personality, but what I really want to do is get together a group of monsters and make a good guy version of Suicide Squad for no reason. Yeah, this is what I need to do today. I'm gonna go assemble a whole team to do this for no reason. Like, why? Why is that just seems like the direction that they're gonna go with this. I mean, it's very possible they might not go that direction, but it seems pretty likely that they will. So, yeah, this trailer is a very mixed bag for me. On the one hand, Universal monsters are coming back. I am really excited for that. As a huge fan of Universal monsters, I am really happy about that. So much so that I went back and rewatched some of the movies recently. I had to find the Wolfman and Creature from the Black Lagoon and Phantom of the Opera again, though. But yeah, I am looking forward to this franchise, and I'm really hoping that it does well. Now, whether or not me actually being optimistic going into this movie will be a good thing or not, time will tell. But yeah, I am actually pretty optimistic about this. So yeah, here's to hoping it's good. I really do hope so, because if not, this will be a very bad start to a whole entire new universe of gods and monsters. But yeah, I'm gonna try and be optimistic. So much so that I'm going on an advanced screening. I really want this to be good. Well, that was disappointing. So yeah, I went to go see this movie in 3D, hence the glasses. And the only reason was because my cousin and his girlfriend wanted to see it, but we could only make the 3D showing. So yeah, I went to go see this in 3D. Wasn't worth the extra money. all that you really get out of it is some sparks fly at you in the opening. Although 3D does sort of wear off for me after a little bit. Like, if I'm watching it for a little bit in 3D, then I just sort of forget that it is, and I just sort of watch it like a 2D movie again. So, I don't know, maybe if 3D works better for you, then yeah, maybe this would be better, but yeah, I really don't recommend seeing it in 3D. So, yeah, what happens in this movie? Well, Nick, played by Tom Cruise, is not an archaeologist like he should be. No, instead, he's a soldier. I know, I thought that he would be an archaeologist here because, you know, that would make sense. I mean, he's going around getting ancient relics in order to sell them on the black market. I mean, sure, that's not what good archaeologists would do, but still, he could just be one that's desperate for money. That could have worked just as well, but no, clearly he needs to be a soldier. So, yeah, after finding a whole entire tomb under a city, which just sort of opened up because apparently it was very unstable ground that it was under. So yeah, I'm guessing that some people could just walked over that after a while and it would just fallen in, but yeah, I guess for dramatic's sake, it only waits till now. So yeah, he finds this huge tomb, and apparently we find out that he stole the map to this tomb, and yeah, the person who he stole the map from got kind of pissed. I forgot her name, but yeah, just for the sake of simplicity, I'll just call her Sheila. I can't think of a good name outside of that, and I don't remember her name from the movie, so yeah, let's just call her Sheila. I don't know why, just randomly popped into my head. Let's just go with that. So yeah, Sheila's kind of pissed off about Nick stealing her map, which is kind of her life's work, and so she decides, well, I mean, he found the place I'm trying to get to, might as well use this to my advantage. So she goes down with Nick and the guy Nick was with. Yeah, Nick had some friend that he had to help him out with finding all these ancient artifacts. And yeah, they go down into the tomb, they find the mummy sarcophagus, and that's the only thing that they can recover in time. And Nick broke the chain, so of course he's cursed now. Makes sense. And Nick's buddy gets bit by a spider, so therefore he's also cursed, just in a different way. He is cursed in that he's under the mummy's control, I think. I mean, like, on the plane, he tries to let the mummy out and then kills anyone who gets in his way until he's shot down. And then Nick shoots him once more just for luck, I guess. Or maybe he was just having fun, I don't know. Guy wasn't really the best character, so yeah, maybe he was having fun shooting him. So yeah, then the plane crashes because bats fly in. Ooh, really horrifying there. So yeah, then Nick saves Sheila, and he dies in the process, but then comes back because curse. The curse in this movie is stupid. So yeah, he starts talking with Sheila about what to do, what's going on, and eventually he sees his old friend who he shot, who is warning him that he is now cursed and needs to do something about it. And his friend is stuck in limbo until something is done. This vaguely reminds me of something. An American Werewolf in London. Seriously, did they think no one would notice? Like, that's way too on the nose there. Maybe if it was just him showing up as a part of the curse, that would make some sort of sense. Or heck, it could have even been PTSD or something. But no, instead it's a curse responsible for this. And they need that curse to be broken. It's not really the most subtle reference there. And yeah, it does come back a few times, so it kind of annoyed me with that. So yeah, Nick gets kind of freaked out about seeing the guy that he shot 3 times. So he goes out to the street where he meets up with the mummy again and finds out that, yeah, he's kind of been cursed by her. But apparently he does know where she is, so he's gonna go see if she's really in the sarcophagus and just, dead. But apparently that was all the mummy's evil plan to get him there so she can stab him with a knife that has something to do with her deal that she made with Set, so then she can bring him into a mortal body so then he can take over the world. Makes complete sense. So, yeah. Apparently she got all ready for this, but didn't notice, hey, that stone that I need on this knife? Yeah, it's not here. Crap. So, yeah, she gets kind of angry about that, but Nick and Sheila do get away. And they are saved by Dr. Jekyll. Why is Dr. Jekyll in this? I just want to know, really, why? Why was Dr. Jekyll in this movie? What point does Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde have to do with the mummy? I mean, yeah, okay, I get it. He's kind of like the Nick Fury character in these movies now, but still, that's a dumb idea. But yeah, Jekyll is here, and yeah, they do reference him being also Hyde a little bit, and yeah, that does come back. I wish that they had just spent some time building that up instead and getting us to know Jekyll in this movie, so then maybe in the next Dark Universe movie, then we can see him as Hyde, but we already like him as Jekyll. But no, clearly, they need to spend most of Jekyll's time on screen being Hyde. Yeah, that was a really bad idea. So yeah, then we see that apparently the mummy is talking with Nick. She's saying that he shouldn't trust these guys. And yeah, he starts believing her. And apparently he was right too, as apparently they're just gonna kill him. And they told him that for some reason. Why they didn't just knock him out and lock him up. I mean, like, Hyde's giving him alcohol. I thought that there was a knockout drug in that, so then, they could put him in a safe room, bring Set out like they were planning, then just kill him there. But no, clearly they couldn't do that. Instead, they just needed to hope that he would understand. And yeah, not surprisingly, he gets kind of pissed about this, and then Hyde comes out. This was my favorite part of the movie. You wanna know why? 'Cause Hyde's a good character. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is an extremely interesting story, and I've watched quite a few versions of it, and Russell Crowe does a really good job in the role. He really brought it to modern day, and yeah, he's probably the best part out of this movie, so him being Hyde and Jekyll is by far my favorite scene in this. But you want to know something? It's not Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's the mummy. It's a different character. It is not the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Why do we spend some time with him? It's not needed. But yeah, we clearly needed him there so he could say, hey, let me join up with you when you become evil. No. Syringe injection. Everything's okay again. And then Jekyll's never seen again. Yay. That was clearly needed. So then the mummy is now released, and yeah, she's still pretty pissed off. And yeah, now she really wants to bring Set into the world, so she goes after Nick for a while, and then eventually they meet up in the sewers where she has this whole army of dead people. So yeah, not only is this a Dr. Jekyll movie, a Mr. Hyde movie, but it's also a zombie movie. Oh, and it's also a little bit of American Werewolf in London. I will get back to that. So yeah, they fight off the dead guys. And then Sheila is killed. Yay! I didn't like her and she was very bland. Yay! But that Nick's really sad about this, so he starts fighting the mummy for a bit, but then realizes, hey, yeah, she did mention that I can bring the dead back to life if I actually do what she wants. But that would be a really stupid idea, and I'd be bringing evil onto the world. Screw it. The girl that I like is dead right now. Stab myself. So yeah, now he's also half set, and he kills the mummy with it and brings his girlfriend back to life. But yeah, now he realizes this was kind of a stupid idea, as I can't control this at all. And then he leaves. And okay, yeah, I was wrong. There's one more scene with Jekyll. It's them saying, well, crap. He's set now. Let's hope he controls this somehow. And him and his partner go walking around the desert some more to do exactly what they were doing before, except now they have a sandstorm behind them. Character development at its best. Yes, they're doing exactly what they did at the beginning, except now there's a sandstorm behind them, and one of them is dead, and the other is now half Egyptian god. Yeah, this movie's plot got confused. Yeah, that's probably the biggest problem I had with this, is that it's trying to be too many things. First, it's actually a mummy movie. You know what it's supposed to be. And now, yeah, okay, I'm not gonna say the mummy is the scariest Universal monster, nor is he at all the best. I mean, yeah, okay, I do like the mummy, but yeah, he's still not the best that Universal Monsters had to offer. That one to me is the Invisible Man. Making me more angry that Johnny Depp is going to be playing him. He's not fit for the role! Okay, but anyway, yeah, the Mummy, while I don't think that's the best Universal monster, is still a really good one. And yeah, it is kind of creepy, and if done right, it can actually be extremely effective. But you need to keep the focus on the mummy, not on everything else going on around him. I mean, yeah, okay, the original movie, there were subplots going on, but you know what? All movies have subplots. They don't need to become central focuses of the movie, though. And that's where this movie made the mistake. They decided, well, we know this is a mummy movie, but why don't we focus on Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and American Werewolf in London references and zombies? Clearly, that's what will make this movie work. Yeah, that's really where they failed. They just thought, if we throw a lot of random stuff in there, but still keep it related to the mummy, then yeah, everyone will be okay with it. No, that's not how it works. You have to focus on something. Instead, they decided to just put their focus in a lot of different areas, and yeah, the plot sort of crumbles from that. Maybe if they put the focus strictly on the mummy and everything going around with the company that tries to get her, and stuff going on with Nick, which all three of those do relate to the central theme, which is the mummy, then maybe it would have worked. Because it would have stayed true to what the movie should have been, and it would have added a little bit more to it as well. But no, they decided, we need to put 4 plots in this movie because it's very needed. And yeah, that was a big fail on their part. So yeah, story in this isn't well done, but are there other things that you can get out of this? Like, is it actually scary? Nope, it's not. Instead of actually trying to scare you, they mostly rely on either action or jump scares. Yeah, jump scares. Those scare everybody. I'm getting so sick of jump scares in horror movies now. Like, okay, The Bye Bye Man, that wasn't a good movie. So, yeah, I can give that one some cred because, like, you know, no one really gave a crap. So, yeah, it doesn't really matter if it was just all jump scare filled. Split only had a few, but did try and build up atmosphere. This is a modern day horror movie based off of the Universal Monsters. You want to know what those guys are mostly famous for? Actually being creepy and also iconic, but yeah, outside of them being very iconic characters, they were actually creepy. They built up atmosphere. They knew how to do it correctly. All that you really had to do was bring that to modern day. But no, clearly we couldn't do that. All we needed are jump scares and stupid music being very, very lowered so that we know that the jump scares are coming. Way to go, guys. Yeah, seriously, every jump scare in this movie, I knew it was coming. Why? Because they had music building up to it. You want to know how you can do a jump scare right? Actually have it be unexpected. There are movies that can actually pull this off. Halloween 2 got me with a jump scare, mainly because I didn't expect it. There's one scene where Michael Myers just turns around a corner, but here's the thing. Last time you saw him, he was in the hospital and was locked in there. That mainly surprised me because I didn't know he had gone out. It legitimately scared me there because there was no music building up to it, and it actually surprised me. This, on the other hand, they decided, oh, look at this corpse. It's a corpse. We know what the movie's called The Mummy, so you expect it to jump up, and we're slowing the music down so you can clearly tell it's gonna jump up. But no, we're gonna keep on building up on this. Build up on it. Build up. Oh, and there it goes. Now you're truly all terrified and screaming. Yeah, you wanna know how many people screamed at that in the theater? One! And that was one of the guys I was with. Yeah, my cousin also brought a lot of his friends along. But, yeah, that got him. And most of the guys with me were just wondering why that scared him. And you want to know something even more embarrassing? There were kids in the theater. Yeah, there were some little kids in the theater. And never once in this movie did I hear them scream. Movie? If you can't scare little kids, you're not gonna scare anyone. So, yeah. That really disappointed me. I was really hoping that, yeah, well, the trailers did look mostly like there's gonna be jump scares and action. I was really hoping that would be deceiving, and maybe they would actually try and build up some nice subtlety to the scares, and actually try and build up an atmosphere. Oh boy, did I think wrong. Yeah, the fear in this movie, not done at all. So yeah, if you're hoping to be scared by this, you won't. But hey, are the characters any good? That's where I'm kind of mixed on. Now, Tom Cruise as Nick. The character of him is very, very generic. All he really is a jerk who becomes less of a jerk later. While also slightly being more, as he just brought a god of death into the world. But, yeah, you can tell they did have good intentions there. But, yeah, it's not really that actual. He doesn't really have that much of an actual character here. But, he does make up for it. Because he's played by Tom Cruise. And, yeah, Tom Cruise does put a lot of emotion into this. Well, okay, not really emotion. I mean, he does have some moments, but, okay, he mainly puts in charisma into this role, and that's what really makes him pretty fun in this. Really, Nick is probably one of the most fun characters in this, just because Tom Cruise did put a lot of charisma into this. So, yeah. Probably one of the best characters in this. Sheila is very boring and I didn't care about her. So much so that I didn't remember her name. hence why we are calling her Sheila. So, yeah. She was boring. And when she died, my reaction was this. Oh, she died. It's pretty sad, I guess. Meh. Oh, let's see what's gonna happen now. Oh, wow, we brought her back. I'm so amazed. Yeah, that was pretty much my reaction in the theater. It's not a good sign for her there. And yeah, when I saw her dead like that, I was like, oh, so is she gonna be the Bride of Frankenstein thing that's gonna happen next because they don't know how to properly order their movies? Nope, she just comes back because Egyptian magic. I thought that could have actually made sense for a second, but no, they decided, and let's screw up a way to actually make it make sense. Seriously, they have Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde working on their staff. I'm pretty sure that Frankenstein is somewhere in there as well, so they could have gotten him in on this, as apparently she is also very, very well researched in Egyptian mythology. So yeah, she could be very useful, and you know, trying to get that one guy who now has an Egyptian god in him. That could have actually made for a good build up to Bride of Frankenstein, which yes, is going to be the next movie in the Dark Universe series, even though it makes no sense. That was a sequel to Frankenstein, but yeah, it could have been done in a way that made some sense, but nope, clearly we can't do that. I mean, yeah, okay, there's still the chance that she could be, but I doubt it. So, yeah. That, she really just was bland to me. So then we got Nick's friend. He's alright. He's not really in it that much, and that's probably what makes him not that bad. He's more of a comedic relief in this movie when he's not possessed by the mummy or under her spell or curse or bitten by a spider. Yeah, then he's just sort of kind of funny, or at least trying to be the comic relief. And yeah, well, that doesn't really work. He's not that bad. And yeah, he's at least has more character and more charisma than Sheila does, so that's kind of nice. And then we got Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I already said that I really do like Russell Crowe's performance in this. This is, like I said in my before part, this is actually what I thought would have been one of the best part of the movie. And I was kind of right about that. He does a pretty good job in the role. I wasn't really that surprised by it, but yeah, that's mainly because I actually expected it. I wanted him to be good in this role, and he didn't really let me down. He's probably the best character in this movie. Although the biggest problem is that it's not Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde movie. It's a mummy movie, and yet they spend like 12 minutes or something focusing on him just being Hyde running around a room. Riveting. Yeah, that's probably the biggest disappointment with him here, but yeah, I actually do look forward to seeing more done with this character, so yeah. Although I do think that they could have done him a bit better. Like I said before, if they focused more on Jekyll in this movie and actually just had him be Jekyll throughout the whole movie, it would have worked better in my opinion, because I wanted to know more about Jekyll. Because here's the thing, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, what actually makes them interesting, you like both characters, or at least there is always the option that you can. You like both sides. You can see why Hyde is the way that he is, and therefore you can kind of like him. Especially there are some pretty good versions of him out there. And, like, okay, let's just say, the show Jekyll. Yeah, on that, he was actually a good guy. There are versions where you can actually like and relate to him. Heck, even the animated version, he's probably the most fun in that movie. So yeah. So here's the thing. While you are supposed to sort of like Hyde, you're also supposed to really much more like Jekyll, because he's the side that in the end you're supposed to want to win. In this movie, though, we spend more time with Hyde, thus sort of ruining Jekyll, because Jekyll is the one that we should be spending more time with, especially since he's going to be in more movies. He should be much more focused on here because he is going to be in more of them, so it's not like they can't do any of the Hyde stuff later. But no, clearly we needed to confirm the fact that he is actually Hyde, even though that one injection scene could have been enough. And yeah, that's probably my biggest problem. They already had something with it, but instead they were just like, we need Hyde in here as well. It's just needed. And yeah, in my opinion, make a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde movie if you want. I mean, they keep on using him. If you want to do something with the character, do something with him. Don't just have him be on the side. I mean, like I said, I like Russell Crowe in this performance, and I wouldn't mind seeing more of him. So here's the thing, is apparently they want to do something else with him. Do something else with him! Him actually having a career where he's fighting monsters and evil is actually also an interesting side of his character, and something that kind of makes sense. I mean, Jekyll does have his evil side personified. So, yeah, it does make sense I would want to fight other evils in this world. It makes complete sense. And seeing as he's apparently given the opportunity, yeah, it is actually a good moment. It is actually a very good idea with him. But, if they want to do that, actually do something with that. Don't just have him have a little cameo. And then we had the mummy herself. She's very like her backstory, meh. I don't really get that. Like, the king was sitting around training his daughter throughout her whole life, saying, you're going to be queen, you're going to be the ruler of all this land, people will view you as a god. Oh, never mind, I had another kid. Sorry, never mind, forget all that. I know that you're still the one who's much more qualified for this, but nah. I mean, like, I do get, like, okay, yeah, this was Egyptian times, and probably the only reason that he raised her that way was probably just because he didn't have a male heir. But, dude, question? Could go get a kid. I'm pretty sure that you could take a kid if you really wanted a male heir. Like, you are the pharaoh. You could totally do that. Like, it's not a good thing, but you could totally do that if you wanted, or, I don't know, try again. Apparently it does work. I don't know why you didn't try that before. And apparently all this time, all the girl mummy wanted was to be loved by her father. That's why she slit his throat. Yep. And so, yeah, she killed her brother, she killed her mother, and then she killed her father. Mainly because, yeah, she found out, yeah, okay, so I can't be ruler of this land now because I got a male heir. Time to go make a deal with Set. And do that naked for no reason. And, yeah, she did that, and therefore she tries to bring Set into the world in a mortal body. Because, truly, an Egyptian god needs a mortal body. It can't just walk around, you know, in his Egyptian god form. Because, yeah, I don't really know why. He just can't for some reason. So, yeah. That kind of gets screwed up, though, when they shoot down the guy who was supposed to be the vessel for Set. And then they kidnap the mummy, I forgot her name. And then they mummify her alive. And in this movie, mummification is just the mere process of wrapping them in gauze and throwing them into a sarcophagus. Mummification is the process of taking out some of the internal organs, putting them in jars, taking out the heart, replacing it, and then chiseling the chiseling the brain out of the nose. If they were to do that to her alive, that would be even better punishment for treason and killing the royal family. I know that she's royalty herself, but still, killing the whole entire royal family should outweigh that. And apparently they are still punishing her for this. And she also made a deal with Set, so she does deserve that type of punishment, or at least by their standards. But no! Clearly, all we need to do is just wrap her in some gauze, throw her into a sarcophagus, make an extremely convoluted trap to this, and then just leave her there and hope nobody ever finds her. Like, could destroy the wall between this area, but no, clearly we just need to hope nothing ever happens. And yeah, that's her whole backstory. It's pretty lame, really. Just, she got pissed that she couldn't be ruler, made a deal, got foiled, came back, got foiled again, kinda. I mean, like, Nick did still do what she wanted, but she also got killed, so kind of foiled that. So, yeah. Is she at all cool in this movie? That's kind of where it's also debatable, because, yeah, she's probably one of the... She actually does try and be creepy in this movie at times, with her slow walking towards people. And really, the creepiest moment with her is when she first comes back to life. She is very much in a skeleton form at that point and needs to absorb more people's bodies and stuff in order to actually, come back fully normal. And yeah, but when we first see her, she is a skeleton essentially, even though it's been long enough for the decay process to have started, but for some odd reason it didn't. But yeah, for some odd reason, decay has not actually happened yet, and she's just sort of a skeleton, but still has some muscle for her to actually walk around. And yeah, that's probably when she's actually at her creepiest, because the way that she walks around, she can only walk around on all fours and walks around very much like a spider with 4 legs. That's really what I found to be the creepiest moment with her. However, it's still not a scary movie, so yeah, most of her fear is outdone by jump scares, so anything that could have been scary about her is completely gone. And yeah, that's pretty much where the biggest disappointment came in with her. She could have been creepy, but nope, instead, let's just have her run around and do jump scares and have bugs follow her and have bugs crawl all over Tom Cruise for some reason. So yeah, that's pretty much all that she really does. It's not really that scary. Her backstory isn't really that interesting. They don't know how mummification works for some reason. Seriously. They're making a movie about a mummy, but they don't know how mummification actually works. And I don't think that they just mummified her later, because here's the thing. Why would they put her in the sarcophagus if she wasn't mummified already? That makes no sense. But yeah, apparently they decided, let's just throw her in. That'll work. Our day's done. We're really lazy. We're really lazy mummifiers. So yeah, I really got pissed off seeing that in theaters. So yeah, that's really all the characters in this movie, actually. Like, there's really no one else. Like, there's this one guy that we see a few times, but I don't even know his name. They never really say. I think that he might come back. Like, he was one of the soldier guys, and like, I wouldn't mind seeing more of him, I guess. But yeah, I mean, like, we saw him a few times, but yeah, that's really it with him. So yeah, for this movie overall, not scary, doesn't know how mummification works, even though it's called The Mummy, has 4 different ideas going on all at once, and yeah, doesn't really know how to actually balance them. So yeah, it's not really done that well, although it does have some positives. Like, I don't really hate this movie as much as most horror movies nowadays. Like, there are quite a few decent moments in it, and yeah, you can still tell there was some effort put in. And the references to the other Universal monsters. I actually really enjoyed that. You wanna know why? They're not forced or anything. They're just there. That's really all. And I really liked that. They don't try and draw attention to them or anything, and they're not really that haphazardly thrown in like they were in Batman v Superman. No, here it's merely just the creature from the Black Lagoon's hand in a jar and Dracula's skull. Why is Dracula already dead? I don't know. And is the creature from the Black Lagoon going around with a hook hand now or something? I want to know. Or does that imply they also killed him? In which case, 2 less Universal Monster movies and probably one of the most famous ones, Dracula, is gone. Kind of sucks. I also do kind of wish that they had a silver bullet somewhere. I would have really liked seeing that. I also would have liked sort of seeing, like, maybe the Invisible Man's goggles somewhere. Ooh, and seeing Phantom of the Opera's mask somewhere. That would have been cool. And maybe seeing one of the bolts from Frankenstein. That would have been neat. But yeah, I guess that, yeah, some of those do still need to happen. And even though I'm pretty sure they'll still do something with Dracula and the creature from the Black Lagoon, it is nice that they don't reference all of them here. Although I do think that they could have thrown them in there and that would have been cool too. But yeah, I do still like the references here. They're not forced at all and actually had me inspecting some of the sets because I really did want to see if they had any more. So yeah, I really did like the references here. And Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is actually done pretty well. Although they don't really put all the focus on who should be put on which personality should have the more focus. And yeah, it is kind of pointless really what they do with him in this movie, and they probably could have saved that for later movies. But yeah, I do still really like Russell Crowe's performance as him. So yeah, for this movie, I don't say it's worth your money. Like, I mean, if you want to watch it on Redbox or on TV or something, wait. Just wait. It's really not worth seeing in theaters, and yeah, really isn't worth seeing in 3D. So, yeah, how is it as a start to the whole entire new Universal Monsters universe? Not very good. Like, at all. Like, for a start to the Universal Monsters big reboot, the characters that pretty much invented a shared universe in cinema, yeah, they are, you know, just kind of focused on. Like, that, like, it's really not that good of a setup, really. Like, I mean, like, okay, yeah. There are some things I could still see them do, and I still am optimistic about the Universal Monsters all coming back, because I'm hearing that Wonder Woman's good, and I don't like the other DCEU movies, really, but that is evidence that a whole entire cinematic universe that started off pretty bad could turn itself around. So yeah, while I am still optimistic, there are many things that are diminishing that. Like, I keep on hearing that The Rock will be playing the Wolfman. My biggest problem with that, while I do like The Rock, I don't really feel like he can pull off all the emotion needed for the Wolfman. And Johnny Depp as the Invisible Man. Why is Johnny Depp playing the Invisible Man? Him as an actor, he is not a bad one, and yes, I do see that he could put in the right performance, but take into account his more recent movies. He's not that great of an he's not as good of an actor as he once was. And in order to do the Invisible Man, you gotta be a good actor. Consider this. Vincent Price played the Invisible Man. Vincent freaking Price! So he's got to top Vincent Price, in my opinion, and I don't think that he can. So yeah. And also, Frankenstein is not coming before Bride of Frankenstein. That is just stupid. So yeah, Dark Universe. I am quickly getting diminished by that, but I do still hold out hope that it will actually be good. Even though it didn't start off well, I do still want it to actually turn itself around, and I can actually see them doing some good stuff with the Mummy later. Like, I mean, yeah, okay, it's not that great right now, but Tom Cruise actually does have a lot of charisma as Nick in this, so I do think that they could actually do something with it now that he is the Mummy. I do think that something can actually be done with this, and that they could salvage up the pieces if they put in enough effort. And I really do hope that Universal notices that, because it's the Universal Monsters. It's pretty much where they started off. That's what really made them a big name, in my opinion, and I really do hope that they can do something with this. So, yeah. I'm just hoping that this will go well. I mean, I love the Universal Monsters. I want to see this work. Please, Universal, do actually make this work. Don't half-ass it. Actually have it be interesting, good, and creepy. And actually have good characters and stories that aren't cluttered. So yeah, if Universal can do that, I think they can pull this whole entire universe together. So here's hoping that they actually can. And for my theater going experience, I don't really have any clips from it, mainly because the people that I went with. Now, the people that I went with were very nice, but yeah, the ride there was pretty crazy. Or at least to me. I am not like most teenagers. My cousin pretty much falls into what I assume a lot more teenagers are like. Really, these aren't the teenagers that I normally hang out with. So, yeah, what do I mean by that? Well, for one, they were vaping in the car with the windows closed. I don't know why. Although, when we went back to my cousin's house, then they had the windows open. The loudest freaking rap music. Seriously, my ears still kind of hurt from it. And swearing the whole entire time. And at one point, even they were even yelling about, okay, we gotta go beat up this one guy. Why were they doing that? Because my cousin's girlfriend, she called my cousin and said that these guys were following her and she felt like she was gonna be raped. So yeah, at least that is a good reason to beat them up. But yeah, it didn't come to that, thankfully. And also, there were 5 people in a car that seats 4. Got kind of cramped in there. So, yeah. It's a very different theater going experience than what I'm used to. And if you're wondering why I didn't record any of that, there was a lot of swearing. And, yeah, I didn't really want all that much swearing on my channel. So, yeah, I decided not to. And after that, I was just sort of watching the movie. So, yeah. But yeah, it's a very different theater going experience. I mean, like, they were nice guys and everything. It's just very different for me. So, yeah. It was very unique. Also, I saw kids come into a PG-13 movie. Meh. So, yeah. That's pretty much it of that theater going experience. So, yeah. I don't really recommend The Mummy. Wasn't that good, and probably not worth your money, unless if you're a huge Universal Monsters fan, like myself, and you do actually hope that it's better than, well, what the trailers showed. But I kind of have to promise you guys that it really isn't. Although, it does have some decent moments to it, and out of most modern day horror movies, this is probably one of the better ones. I mean, yeah, okay, there are much better modern day horror movies out there, but compared to some of them, this is a pretty good one. Like, compared to things like The Darkness, The Bye Bye Man, The Mirror, things like that, like, this is probably one of the better ones. Although, I could have also seen It Comes at Night. That one's probably a better horror movie. So yeah, if you want to go see a horror movie, Things That Come at the Night is probably better. So yeah, just, I don't know, Mummy, I guess just wait till it comes out on TV, DVD, or Redbox. I mostly recommend Redbox for it because that's pretty cheap, or just on TV, or maybe if it's on Netflix or something. But yeah, it really isn't worth your price of admission. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Bye.